In this video, we're going to be exploring the loop slice tool. Now, as you can see here, I just have a very simple model, just a very simple cylinder. Okay, and before we get jumping into the loop slice tool, we need to discuss and go over what a loop really is. As you can see here on my cylinder, I have a row. All of these guys right here, all of these polygons represent a loop. And a loop is basically a row of polygons that wraps all the way around the model back onto itself. See how this row just continues all the way around the diameter of the cylinder, and then it touches itself back over here on this side. Okay, so that is what a loop is. It's a row of polygons or edges that wraps all the way around the model or a certain part of the model and connects back unto itself on the opposite side. So that's what a loop is. Now the loop slice tool is going to analyze a row of geometry and slice it or add another segment, kind of divide it in half or on any number of additional edges. So let's examine how the loop slice tool is going to work. We can find the loop slice tool in the mesh edit tab, this guy right here, the mesh edit tab, and there it is, the loop slice tool, keyboard shortcut Alt-C. Now, in order for the loop slice tool to work correctly, we have to have two or more polygons in the desired loop already selected, okay? So I'm going to select these three polygons, and I've just left-clicked and dragged to do a paint selection inside of Modo. So I need two or more polygons in the loop selected. It's not going to work with one. We need to have two or more. I usually try to do around three just for safety. Now that we have our polygons selected, we can activate the tool. Let's look at the options. There's a couple options in here that we're going to look at them here in a minute. But let's apply the tool to our geometry by left-clicking in the empty part of the 3D viewport. So I'm just going to left-click, and you can see what's happened. Now, it's adding this new edge down here. Can you see that? This new edge down here. So that is what the loop slice is doing. It's analyzing a row of polygons, and it's adding new edge segments within that row of polygons. Now, at its default, it's putting a count of 1. So it's adding one edge, one new edge segment all the way around that loop inside of our geometry. If we increase this, watch what happens. So we're going to go count of 2. Now we've added 2 new edge segments along that loop, and so on and so forth. You can add as many as we want in here. Let's just bring it back down to 2. A little bit easier to see what's going on with 2. Okay, now that's the count. Also, look up here. We have a new little piece of the interface, a new little loop slice widget. Yours might look a little bit different. You can make it bigger by clicking on this little blue square. This little, I guess, is kind of turquoise. This guy, and if you left click and drag it, you can make this little widget bigger. I usually have it pretty big because I like it. It's a little bit easier to manipulate. And these little arrows represent the location of those new edge segments along the original loop. So you can see there's one here at 33%, and then if we click on this guy, there's another loop at the 67 or 66.67 percentage of the original loop. Okay, so let's see if we can manipulate these. This brings me to the mode. If your mode is set to free, which is this first one, or right here, we can manipulate where we place those loops along the original, or where we place these new edge segments or along the original loop, just by left-clicking and dragging the little blue arrow. Okay, and we can do them independently from each other. So I can do this guy as well, and you can bring them up, bring them down. So you can put these loops wherever it is that you want. So you have complete control. And this is still a live tool. So if you want more, you can just increase the count, reposition them. Now we have 3 new ones, and we can continue on. Okay, I'm going to go back down to 2 because I want to show you another one. This next one is uniform. Now, with the mode set to uniform, it's going to try to evenly space all of the new edge segments along the length of the original loop. So if the count is at like 5, notice that all of the new edge segments are evenly spaced along the height of the original loop. The little arrows up here at the top, I can't move them. They're locked. The uniform mode isn't gonna allow you to interactively select and place where all of these new loops are gonna go. Okay, but it is gonna evenly distribute them along the height of the loop. Okay, so that's pretty cool. Now with the mode, let's put this the count back down to 2 because this brings us to the last mode, which is symmetry. Now with symmetry, we get a certain degree of interactivity, and if we click on these guys up here, it's going to try to place the new edge segments symmetrically across the height of the loop. Okay, notice that there's one up here at the top, and it's trying to place the bottom one in the exact same location down here at the bottom, symmetrical along the y-axis. Okay, so that's what the symmetry tool is going to do. You can also just left click in the empty part, left click and drag in the empty part of the viewport down here. You don't necessarily have to click on the little arrows up here at the top. You can just do it down here. You get the exact same effect, or you can do it numerically over in all the value sliders in the tool properties over here as well. So that's the loop slice tool. It's just a tool that allows us to go in, analyze a loop, and begin to add new edge segments along that loop based off of a series of parameters that we've explored over here on the left. So that's the loop slice tool.